Where my girls at?
Taking the spice, you know, keep it locked in.
Where my girls at?
Keep on watching while the beat keep knocking.
Russell Simmons' 21-year-old daughter, Aoki Lee Simmons, has broken up with her 65-year-old boyfriend following a brief relationship. Aoki's mother, Kamora Lee Simmons, was concerned by the fling, which was apparently never serious. People claimed not only is it over, it was never a thing. Russell Simmons gave the couple his blessing during the interview with TMZ earlier this week. He said, quote, "I'm not going to kick and scream about her choices. All I can do is offer my advice and unconditional love." So the question is, gurus, was it okay for the 65-year-old man to date a 21-year-old girl? And if this was your daughter, how would you have handled it?
Never okay.
I wouldn't be okay with it.
Absolutely. I'm disgusted. I said, you know how, especially now on TikTok, where you see these TikToks of these older men, they're like 65, 70, even 50, and you can't believe they're that age. He's not one of them.
No.
I do. I'm like,
He
no,
looked
no.
his age.
That's a fact. Actually, he look about 75.
I was gonna say, he definitely look older.
At the end of the day, this dude looks like he's like 2 steps away from belonging in a wheelchair.
He probably like, of course, welcomes this. Like, why wouldn't he? If he's a 65-year-old single man and you got this little hot young thing, you know, that wants to do whatever with you, like, I don't know. Why would he say no? Maybe she G'd him. Okay. At the end of the day, he's an old man.
You watched the clip, right? She asked her father for money, an allowance. So clearly she wanted some money, right?
Oh,
But
right.
And also,
I'm a cougar. I like them young, right? So maybe not that young. I do have a limit now for like maybe 32, 33, right? But I was watching Cheetahs the other day with what's her face, Tammy Roman, and there was this older man who was with this girl when she was like 21, or she just like went into college, and now she was in her 30s or maybe 40s, and he's like 60, 70, and he started messing around with a younger girl who just started college, and he bought her a car. She ran up to him in the car dealership, and the thing, his mindset, the way he explained it is that he went through a really bad relationship. So younger women, he likes to, now I wouldn't say trick, but just likes to gift them because he feels something from doing that. And sometimes some older men, psychologically, they get off on taking care and providing for younger girls. It's weird, but that was
It is
other
very.
aspects that could come into play. Like, you know, people's psychology always comes into play, and every situation is different. But in this specific situation, I just have like a really good feeling that she G'd this man up. Like,
I think so too.
she was very intentional with what she was trying to accomplish, and she accomplished it.
Well, she said that to her father, didn't she? She told her that she told him if he wasn't gonna up the allowance, she was just gonna get her a sugar daddy. She
and then
meant
she
it.
laughed while eating her noodles.
Yeah, she was all the way serious with it.
Yeah, she meant that.
But also look at her mother. Her mother, Kamora.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And Daddy too.
Yep. You can't even bullshit it.
But see, the thing that bothered me about this particular situation is like, if you're like 20-something-year-old, you look older or something, then maybe, you know, some people can see it differently from the outside. But like, this girl looked like a 12-year-old boy. Like, she is very wasty, model-esque. Like, she has
right.
like audacious or anything about her, and to me it disturbed me because this man is so much older, and little girls that look like little girls.
Exactly.
That old man, I don't care how much money. I don't care how much money he got, how much money he making. And even more so because he has so much money. if he is a single man at 65 years old and you got this little young thing coming at you, I don't care what it looked like, she's a little cute in the face or whatever. Like,
yeah, she's beautiful, but
But let me say this though. I mean, at the end of the day, dude is really out there. Like, first of all, number one, dude, you got caught on camera kissing this girl.
Oh, I was gonna throw up.
Okay? And not only did you get caught on camera kissing the girl, but you're giving all the way creep vibes.
why does he care?
He
Why
don't.
does he care? I think she probably got more sense than him when it comes to something like that.
And that's the shame of it.
I think
She
she
was trying to hide it. She was trying to, like, she was doing like a little story on, whatever social media, whatever. And he's like talking, old man talk in the background or whatever. And she's like, shh, babe, I'm making a video.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, she called him babe?
Yeah.
Not only that, I mean, if you're his age, isn't that like some juvenile-ish? For her to be doing
It's a problem.
It's a problem. Stay past that grown woman threshold, like past 17. I mean, it's still.
I know.
He had even more of a desperation at that age if he's single, okay? Because he's like, it may never happen, so I'm gonna take what I'm gonna get.
Let me tell you, he probably not even single, and his wife somewhere doing her too. Like, sometimes people with money, their lifestyle is just different than what we're used to, and the morals have changed from when we were growing up to what's on right now, because all you see is girls younger and younger getting their body done, wanting to be a baddie, wanting to get their money and have all these like name brand everything, want to have guys tricking on them. Everybody want to be a stripper or a bottle girl. It's like, where's the moral? Where's the moral?
Those are the career goals. Let me get a sugar daddy, or a man that's just gonna like trick on me, and I'm not gonna have any feelings involved, and this, whatever.
I'm a sucker. I will have feelings in like maybe a week or something. I can't sleep with somebody I'm not attracted. Like, I've tried it before and it was horrible.
I've concept before, but I've never done it. I think the oldest I've ever dated was a year older than me.
The part that really got me in this story was the fact that all of a sudden, out the blue, Aoki is now single. It's over, or it never really happened, or whatever the case may be. What we saw with our own eyes didn't really happen.
Right.
You know what? They probably weren't in a relationship, and she probably was just messing with him for money.
Yeah, because I heard in one of them videos, she was like, "Oh, are you gonna buy me this?" He's like, "No." "You're not gonna buy me this?" "No." "You're not gonna buy me it?"
She tried, but she kind of failed. You didn't do a good job, and
you don't say it like that.
Well, that's why I didn't last very long.
Do it different. She kept young. She new to the game.
Yeah, because it was reported by people that said not only is it over, it was never a thing.
Okay.
They're trying to
it was obviously a thing.
Yeah. Or her mom saving faith. Oh my God, Aoki, why would you do such a thing? You already know the family history.
Maybe she's just trying to show daddy that she could do this. Like, oh, you don't want to give me the money? Watch this. I'm gonna embarrass the whole family.
I'm gonna always feel like a daughter.
I'm like a spoiled brat.
And you look like a little spoiled little brat that don't know nothing about life. And maybe your dad was right about certain things, because we spoke about her before in her relationship with her father, and how she claimed that her father didn't do this and didn't do that, but maybe he didn't do this and do that because of certain reason, because you proven to be like you might be like a little spoiled brat. Like, you're gonna take it to that extent because you're not getting what you want.
Bite, scratch, or punch. Kick a bite, scratch, or punch it. They jumping up. Look at her. Wait a minute.
First at 5, a mother sadly is dead and 3 other people wounded after a shooting in South Memphis. Memphis police saying a street fight among children ended with gunshots and everything was captured on camera. Good evening and thank you for joining us.
WREG's Kwamitra Wilburn spoke to witnesses who say this could have all been avoided.
It's an encounter that has left people in this South Memphis community heartbroken. Video shared with WREG shows a man shooting and killing a woman following a massive street fight. Court documents identify the victim as Tamara Plummer. Close friends say she died protecting her children. MPD says the shooting happened on Quinn Avenue Thursday evening. Angela Hinton says Plummer, whom she affectionately calls Tammy, is her godniece.
She was always happy when she come around me.
The video starts with Plummer, seen in green, talking to 2 men. The adults are surrounded by rowdy teenagers. A witness and close friend says the men walked to Plummer's home with their children in an attempt to fight Plummer's children. Suddenly, a teen lashes out at another and the brawl breaks out. We've blurred much of the video since it's believed majority of the people involved are minors. You can see Plummer armed with a gun and the men attempt to break up the fight. After several grueling seconds, the witness tells WREG Plummer raised her weapon intending to end the fight. However, before Plummer could shoot in the air, this man walks toward her and fatally shoots her.
She loved doing hair, but I ain't never known her being no violent person.
MPD identifies the man as Jayon Davis. In another video shared on social media, a woman can be seen shooting Davis as he walks away after shooting Plummer. Police say she's Plummer's daughter, 20-year-old Destiny Plummer. Another woman and a juvenile were also hit. Close friends say Plummer was a dedicated mother who did everything she could to protect her children.
Every time you look around, she doing everything for her kids, supporting, and I love the way she bring them up, the way she talk to them, communicating, and she stay focused on them all the time.
Destiny Plummer is charged with reckless endangerment, while Davis faces a first-degree murder charge. Reporting from South Memphis, Kwamitra Wilburn, WREG, News Channel 3.
Gurus, as a parent, how would you feel about jumping into a fight for your kids with a gun? If the gun wasn't present, do you think the mother of 5 would be dead?
Y'all parents first. I think I'm the only non-parent.
I personally am leaving the scene if I see a gun there. Kid is not gonna be there. We out. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to fight a gun. My kid.
But that's
Period.
the whole thing. That's the whole thing, right? All right. If my child is in danger and they're in a situation where they're fighting and it's an unfair fight, still, and this was in Memphis, so it's a little different. Everybody got guns out there, so I can't really relate to that situation. But I would, and then, emotions, it's your child, so, there's certain other emotions that come out when it has to do with your own flesh and blood, your child, right? But still, at the end of the day, though, intellectually, if you are in your right state of mind, you know that if you bring a gun to a fist fight, it could turn into something else. Okay?
Why would you shoot? What you see this woman is shooting in the air. Why would you shoot this woman close range 3 times?
Because you don't know what she gonna do. No.
I don't think she had a gun either.
My child is here.
Why do you have a gun?
And you got a gun? I don't care where you're shooting. You letting the shot off? We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So I understand that mentality when it comes to your child and just your surroundings and protecting yourself, just human nature. Why are you even doing that? Call the police. Do something else.
Absolutely. I think as a parent, if you see something like that going on, I mean, I'm not the type of individual that want to call the police, but if my child is
But
involved
if
in that,
if you gonna bring a weapon out and you're gonna start firing it,
and yeah, if my child is involved in that, I'm calling the police.
Right.
people will feel threatened. People will feel threatened. Period. At the end of the day. And as a grown person, I don't care about that snitching police. No, I don't care about that. We're grown people. Our children are fighting. That street code, that needs to go out the window.
Why are those parents there watching their kids fight each other though? Like,
so ghetto.
Because that's the society we live in.
I was about to say
that's the society we live in. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I was that mother. I'm coming to the school. Anything happened, they knew Miss Perez. Oh, I almost fought teachers, everything in front of the principal. I did not care when it came to my child.
Well, you got to put pressure on people.
Oh, like, don't get it twisted. When it comes to your kid, you're gonna do what you gotta do. But when it comes to your kid and your kid is in the present severe danger, there's a gun there, right? Your kid is there. That anything can happen.
I'm pulling up. Nah, but
if my kid was in a situation where they was fighting another kid and that kid's mother came out and started shooting,
I'm pulling up, and I'm gonna have gang with me. Everything. It's the block will get lit.
My mind may not even be thinking properly. Okay, if I have something on me and you're letting off. No, you're not harming none of this. You're not harming none of this. So it's just stuff like that. Like,
just to be devil's advocate about the situation, this woman,
I'm being a devil's advocate.
She saw it out of control, and she wasn't trying, from what the video looks like, she was not trying to shoot at anybody. She was just trying to fire in the air to stop the stuff.
I don't care. You don't know what's going to happen in that instant. You hear gunshots, period, and there's all this chaos going on. You don't know what's going to happen. You should not, no. Like, as an adult, you got to think twice about stuff like that. People in a chaotic situation, you're letting off gunshots, you're making even more chaos.
Yeah, she shouldn't have brought that gun out there.
Because that would wild me up. But I would have had everybody pull up. You crazy? For my kid? But I'm going to jail.
See the way I see that, and I get your logic, Jay. I get your logic. I get it. I do. However, my thing is, more chaos is just gonna breed more chaos, and my kid is gonna be in the middle. So I mean, that stuff. So I'm out. My kid is out. My kid is not in the middle of this. Y'all go act like animals if you want to, but we out. And I'm from the street too. Don't get it wrong. But I'm 40-some years old. Allowed to go to house parties, like house party. My kid wouldn't even ask me because she already knew. She'd be like, and be like, "Oh, you're gonna go so and so's house party?" My daughter would be like, "I'm not even gonna ask," because she knew.
And that
stuff doesn't happen out here. Like, too much crazy stuff happens, and I can't be there.
And that's what I told my daughter. She tried to, I want to go to a hotel party. Hell no. Hell no.
It's not nice out here. It's not nice out here at all.
Very different. It's
not nice. Like, like, look, somebody ended up dying.
Yeah. Somebody died. Now she got 5 kids.
Mama might have thought that she was protecting her child by doing that, but you brought more chaos. You brought more anxiety and negativity to the situation, to the point where you shooting in the air, but somebody else feels threatened, and now you got shot and you dead now.
But to bring it back to the beginning, nobody should have went to the other person's house, because that's beef right there. You coming to my house, it's war. It's like you looking for something.
Right.
And
No, I get that.
You know,
I get that. And if my kid is dumb enough to be there, my kid dumb enough to get snatched up and get embarrassed and get the hell out of there. But the fact that all these parents are sitting around watching these kids fighting and all this other craziness, like to me, it's like, yeah, I might have beef with you because you got a gun out and you had a gun out in front of my child. I'm still leaving, but we're gonna talk later. You and I are gonna have a conversation about that craziness.
Are we like sticking in the mentality though of like we said, we just talked about like calling the police, like that's a bad thing, right? That's a negative thing. We're gonna call the police. Like
it depends, and it also depends on the severity of the beef. What is the beef about? Could it even be talked out? Did it have to get to that point? You know what I'm saying? Did you have to bring 8 other kids? Like you're immature for even doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how old they were, but as an adult, like a conscious adult, you wouldn't even put your child or yourself even in a predicament like that.
Exactly. But it kind of goes back to what you were saying, Jamie, about, people don't heal from their hurt because that situation sound like think you and these children are friends. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna come fight your battles with you, but you're supposed to be the adult. Like
This
that.
definitely puts me in mind of, I think it was a year or two ago. I don't remember if we covered the story or not, but it was a young daughter that was fighting, or no, or the mom was fighting, and the daughter gave the mom the gun, and the mom shot somebody else, and now the daughter is in jail or something like that. No, matter of fact, the mom gave the daughter the gun, the daughter killed the other lady, and then they're in jail now. Why would you give your child a gun?
Looking at like situations like that, whenever you have people who are holding guns, everybody is not stable, you know? And when you bring a gun somewhere, some people, especially in those right to carry states, people don't necessarily look at things the way you're shooting in the air trying to stop it, but this individual
You
who's
just started something now.
already had multiple incidents is now, so now he also he's caught up with the law and they're charging him in that situation.
Yeah, he killed the lady.
because you think that you're like stopping something or you're being the bigger threat now, like everybody get out of here, like this is over. And now an actual bigger threat feels threatened by
Yeah, because you shooting, that's like you trying to shoot me next. You know what I mean? Like those are warning shots to me. Because a gun should have never even been pulled out because that's not like, oh, I'll
in the
punch you
eyes
in
of
the face. That's like I'm gonna shoot you to kill you, right? Because you're not gonna shoot somebody in the foot. You're gonna try to like shoot them in the chest or something. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Grown
That's
folks
the
love
end of the day,
YouTube.
like people like really need to like start realizing that you know the street way
It's not really the best way.
Pipeline to the jail and cemetery.
Exactly. Right.
we dying out here. Like it's getting old.
Hey, gurus, J. Cole is catching backlash for apologizing to Kendrick Lamar on stage and bowing out of the rap beef between them. Some people in hip hop say rap has always been competitive, and they feel J. Cole should have kept sparring with Lamar. So, gurus, what is your reaction to J. Cole? Specifically, though, I believe it was on Marcy's social media that she had said something about J. Cole. What was that you said?
I personally believe that he was being grown man. I felt like my personal opinion, and I know not everybody shares it with me, but my opinion is like I'm really kind of tired of I'm in my 40s, right? I'm tired of the whole rap beef stuff. Like it's like I'm in Zen mode. Like it's like Zen. And when you see two artists that you really love, and they're now like remember, my feeling is that J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar are always in the conversation together. When people talk about the greatest right now, it's J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. And I'm like, now it's like they're beefing. Like, where did that come from? I thought they was cool, right?
And
then
it's like between like, rappers like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, like I have put on a pedestal on a separate category because they're certain type of rappers.
They're conscious rappers.
They're conscious, right?
Right.
So this actually it upset me so badly.
Me too.
Because initially I saw people like, yeah, I respect that. Maybe things are changing. And I was like, yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah. And then I started, after that, it was not that.
I'm not mad or I don't feel no way. I'm actually glad that J. Cole did that because it does show growth as a person, personally. But the culture and the society that we live in right now, everybody like drama. Everybody like they butt shapes, they poom poom for every like my algorithm, like on my podcast page, my algorithm is straight booty. But on my personal
And
page,
that's what it is. That's
it's
the
more,
quality.
like more soulful things that whatever. But I'm tired of seeing girls that could be my daughter showing they stuff, putting their finger. Like I would drag my daughter. I would drag my daughter. I would be in jail because I would listen. I'm happy I'm a boy mom.
So I mean, yo, Debbie, what's the upside of J. Cole actually apologizing? Let's be real. Some people look at it like, yo, you're being real moist, bro. You're on stage, you know what I'm saying? The dude just swung at you, and now you apologizing to dude. So what is the upside of the situation?
He didn't swing back. I thought he swung back and
He
then
did.
apologized.
Actually, yeah, he
I was about to
did.
say he did swing back and apologize. I feel like what was said with Jamie. Today's society, it was more fun in the 90s. It was like, yeah, go back and forth, and yeah, I'm on this side, no, I'm on that side.
It's
and
different,
like,
yeah.
it was never really like, fueled by whatever, so it was never. I don't know. I just feel like, what's the angle? What's the direction? Where are we going? The conscious raps don't need beefs in them. We need some more conscious rapping.
Thank you.
We have enough rappers that are saying boy boy and
we like them because of
that lane already.
Right.
So I feel like J. Cole's part, he did an awesome, fantastic thing because my brother, I appreciate that, at the end of the day, it's all fun and games when it's happening, and yeah, I could talk slick and all of that. But if I never really hated you and I like you like that, bro, it was all fun and games. You already know how it go. All right, unless you make a deal behind the closed doors, like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do, right? Just to keep it going, but it ain't gonna be nothing personal. Then if you want to get your money like that, cool,
Right.
But I just feel like he just, some people are not built like that. So
yeah, well, that's though, because like in J. Cole's rap, I'm sorry, but in J. Cole's raps, he's constantly saying, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And that's what people keep pointing out, is like J. Cole be eating people in his but then when they're just like, oh nah, that's my brother, I don't want no beef and stuff, and they're like, but my thing is going. Right. But my thing is, like, to me, rappers are just like boxers. Like, everybody says they're the best. Everybody's the best.
Yes, everybody says that.
Like, yes. Why are we the only culture that is like pinning people against each other, calling it greatness? Like, to me, I'm like, that's just adding to the stereotypes, and it's just not for me.
And that's the whole point right there, because I think that J. Cole actually is who he says he is, and he wants to actually, do something different. And just the fact that people are like just pushing the negative, like pushing the negative, it's
miserable.
It's easier.
It's sad.
I feel the same as everybody else. Like, when I heard that, I'm like, yes, Jay. And then hearing how mad people are, I'm like, how old are y'all? Like, really? Y'all sound like a bunch of elementary. Shut up.
But also, let me say this about J. Cole. J. Cole is a very a high intellectual thinker. And I think J. Cole also thought about the fact that more endorsements would come his way based on the type of brand that he has built. He has built the type of brand to wherein positivity, like he took Common Sense's brand and built it to an even higher level, to wherein when he do good, he actually get endorsements, get paid, he gets more shows, he gets more commercials, he gets more, things of that nature. As opposed to, I think he calculated, is it better to win this beef or is it better to get more sponsors and endorsements and shows? And
I like that. I like that. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, I can see it. I can see that.
And that's smart. That's smart of him to do.
If he did do that, that's definitely yeah.
Gurus, we have a guest today, and she goes by the name of Jay Perez, and she's doing a lot. She is contributing to the culture. She is doing a lot in her own right. Everybody, let's welcome in Jay Perez.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What are you doing? Because you're doing so much.
Oh my God, what am I not doing? Okay, so I have a podcast, Real World Radio podcast, and I film and I was interviewing upcoming artists a lot and other people from like Love and Hip Hop and politicians like Shanduk McFadder and stuff, from Brooklyn and stuff. I'm from Queens, Jamaica, Queens, and
shout to the South Side.
And I also do a lot of things for the children and the homeless people around the holidays. So around the holidays, you will see me having the toy drives and going out getting socks and food, because I actually cook food and make at least 100 or more plates around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Go out to the city, like me and a couple of people, my son, my goddaughter, and we'll just start giving out food, toothbrushes, so I'm really big on the community. And I'm really big on trying to get everybody back together as opposed to being so separate. Our youth is really messing things up right now. And yeah, it's just disheartening. So anything that I can do to try to help build up the community, especially, I always start with Queens first because that's where I'm from. But I branch out to the boroughs because for me, like, that's really important. And I'm a boy mom. I work a 9 to 5 too.
What's like your background or like your history? Like what made you become like so passionate about, the community and things of that nature?
So I'm an 80s baby. My father was on crack, and my mother was negligent, and I have a thing for children. I almost went into the system with my little sister, and then my grandmother took us because they were going to put us in 2 different foster homes. So she took custody of us. And then my mother came back a year later, and we had like a horrible relationship. And I was always in the streets from like 9 years old. I didn't have food and things like that. So when I interact with children, whether if they're my kids' friends or whatever, I take them under my wing. I don't ever want to see a child starve, not be without clothes. That hurts my heart. You know what I mean? My son's father just had a baby almost 2 years ago. And that was a big heartbreak for me because I was dealing with that man for a very long time. And I love the baby. That baby brings me so much joy. He's my little chocolate brownie. And he comes to the house like maybe 4 or 5 times a week. Like we FaceTime every day. Like I just adore the kid. And I, as that being my son's brother, whatever they need help with, like I'm gonna take the baby. I mean, like bring the baby to me, or I'm coming. Let me take him for breakfast. Like I'm really passionate. I want children to feel loved, and I feel like that's so important. And even older people, they need love too. Hence why I go out and I do distribute the food and I do coat drives. So I forgot I even did that this year. I did so many different things this past year, but I think because I grew up in such a sorry, in a real bad era. Sorry. Just everything that I endured. I want to try to make that change because I didn't like how I felt. And I know a lot of kids are lost right now too. You know what I mean? So I kind of like try to just help. Even if it's like my last $10, like I fed this homeless lady today with my last $10.
Wow.
You know, I always said that, you know, stable kids end up making stable adults. And a lot of times the reason why, you know, adults are crazy is because they wasn't, you know, maybe you know, stable in a certain type of way as children.
But
Mm-hmm.
that's like kind of relevant to what I was just gonna ask. And I want to ask all y'all this. Do y'all feel like you know, yes, we know how important our youth years are and how influential and how, you know, it shapes and molds us into our adulthood. But do y'all feel like, you know, once you get older, that people really can change and people really do change?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you feel like, people really just get stuck in their ways and they are who they are at a certain point?
Yeah.
It could be both.
Yeah, both ways.
I
Definitely.
I used to be a fighter. I would fight everybody anytime. I was one of those people. And I remember I choked this lady out in Dunkin' Donuts when my son was 8, and he was scared to death. Like, mommy, mommy. And I was just so angry because over a parking spot, it was really dumb. It was so dumb. But I started to like, I got diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and I started taking Lexapro. So right now I'm currently on Lexapro. And after I started taking the Lexapro, I started getting more calmer. And now I start thinking about how people feel and how I make people feel, how people make me feel. And I look at it from a different perspective because I'm not hurt anymore. And I think I was stuck like that because I still was hurting. I was still hurting from my childhood. I was still hurting from my son's father. And I'm not in that space right now. So right now, it's just I want to just be calm and be at this like peaceful part of my life. You know what I mean? So yeah, sometimes people that are still hurt, they may still be stuck in the way. So people that actually can heal from certain things, they may, have a different mindset.
All right, gurus, breaking news. O.J. Simpson has passed away at the age of 76. The family released a statement saying on April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asked that you please respect their wishes and privacy and grace. So the question is, gurus, what are your thoughts on the life of O.J. Simpson and the passing of O.J. Simpson?
Very inappropriate.
I can't separate myself from the murder. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know he was somebody before that and he had and I know he was never convicted and all of that, but you ain't gonna tell me he didn't do that, So it is what it is. I still don't think like it's okay to be like, oh, good riddance, like, somebody else might have said, because, it's still, it's a person.
This is very inappropriate, it's inappropriate. But my real thoughts was inappropriate a little bit,
You said your real thoughts was inappropriate a little bit?
Yeah.
What were those thoughts?
I mean, yeah. Like at the end of the day, we're all gonna pass away. We're all gonna die. O.J. Simpson passed away. He's moved on. I didn't know the man had cancer or whatever, but he had a very interesting, controversial life, and I just cannot help but think about certain things when it comes to him,
All right. Well, look, at the end of the day, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, I was about to too.
Devil's about to be like,
You know,
I
Like,
was.
yeah, my thoughts.
I'm crying.
Listen, I ain't gonna listen. Let me tell you something.
Go ahead,
Say
Debbie.
it, Deb.
You
Say
say
it.
it. Go ahead. Go ahead. You
I
say
don't.
it.
I
We
don't.
don't hold
I don't
back
want to
here,
get
Deb.
banned.
Come
I
on.
ain't gonna say what I really want to say, but
She said, I don't want to
y'all
get
gotta
banned.
go, right?
Yeah.
I would say I relived the 90s era when everybody came outside and was like, yeah, he got off, yeah.
It was wild, right? It
If the
was
glove
wild.
don't fit, you must what? Acquit.
Charlie P. Charlie Brown teacher talk to me because this all doesn't add up to me. You're talking about a man who is, I mean, yes, when he was in his dying stage, he wasn't in physical fitness to do that. And yes, he did get hit a lot with it, but that man was very much in shape at that time. He was towered over this woman in size. And I've heard about women my size creating murder scenes like that. So you cannot tell me that that man could not have done it. I'm not saying that he absolutely did do that because there is still some plausibility there. However, that doesn't mean he absolutely didn't do it either. But at the end of the day, the police effed that all up. So, he got off and, we got LAPD to thank for that anyway. Yeah, the gloves. Listen, I can pretend gloves don't fit me too, though. You know what I'm saying? I can do that.
I'm just making humor. I'm sorry.
I wear trial gloves.
if you're the police, how could you mess up such a thing? How
He
could
messed up
you mess
everything.
up such a thing?
Listen, LAPD has such a history of being so bad at their job back then. And what happened was when the OJ trial came up, we already had that Rodney King thing happen.
Oh,
so
yep.
by the time OJ happened, nobody wanted OJ to be convicted anyway, because it was just for the streets. We were all like, you know what, you owe us.
Not even that
right?
money.
Right. So I'm not gonna lie and say I wasn't clapping it up when he got off too, because I was like, good for them. Good for them.
Right.
But do I really believe he didn't do that? I don't know about that. I'm not going that far.
After the fact, and after everybody was talking about it, he came out and all this other stuff, talking about some you wildin'. You wild, sir.
Listen, it was a victory. It was a victory for the culture at the time.
Right. That's all I was saying. That's at the time.
Well, let me just say, I don't think it was a victory for the culture. Let's not put the culture.
But if you want to really get technical, the culture was clapping it up, and all the white folks was not.
You mean black folks the hip hop culture wasn't necessarily clapping it up.
No, black.
Who wasn't doing that?
Black folks was clapping it up. Like, because at the time, you had a lot of older people that was born in the civil rights era that after that Rodney King beating, they really felt like, that the system was rigged and this, that, and the third.
So,
and it is. And it still
fell
is.
right into play.
And they caught all of them on camera praying and stuff for him.
They got away with it.
But listen, they even interviewed some of the jury members, and the jury members admitted that they was not going to convict him, period, because of the Rodney King thing. They were like, the woman, there was an older woman, she was like, look. She was like, and they were like, don't you think that was problematic? And then she was just like,
well, and let's bring that all into perspective. Like, so like if you had inappropriate thoughts about his passing,
I'm not gonna hold you. His passing don't affect me.
Yeah, you 78, bro. What was your time? You lived a life.
His passing don't affect me.
Me either.
Now, I do think he killed Nicole and that guy, but I don't care because people kill everybody over here every day. I hear shots go off. I hear sirens every day. I don't really care personally about celebrities and what they go through and what the media portrays, because the media is an illusion. Remember, the word media really comes from the Greek goddess, and it comes from illusion. There's
That's
always a
right.
propaganda that the media tries to like throw at you. We don't really know the truth because we don't live with them. However, I do think he did it. Whether if he did it or not, it's really not my business, because I'm more concerned of my son getting stopped by a cop. My son is half black. You know what I mean? I have more
Thank
other
you.
things
Hello
to really
now.
think about than, oh, you know, good for him. If like the Caitlyn Jenner, like,
Good written girl. Girl.
I'm like, I was gonna say,
I didn't even know how to spell riddance. I never even seen the word riddance.
first of all, exactly, start there. Why are you even using that? Right. So you shouldn't be speaking at
Other
all.
people felt the way that he felt, but just didn't say anything. You know what I mean? Like, who are you to even say nothing right now?
Exactly. Right. Hello. You are a controversy. Be quiet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shut up.
You and OJ both controversies. Shut up. Exactly.
Right.
he's not a woman.
Right. You don't know what you
All
are.
the weirdness. This is all the weirdness going on. And
Right. Like you got some, that's what I thought. I was like, you got some nerve.
I mean, at the same time, you can say that OJ also bought a lot of things on himself when he put out that book as well.
If I did it, this is how I would have done it. That one.
That's what I said. He was just doing too much. He was doing too
Yo,
much.
he wrote a book.
in his narcissistic mind, he did do whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah, he did. Yo, he wrote a book though. I didn't even know he wrote
I
a
feel
book.
like him getting off, just signed, the set, signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah.
And it was
Yep.
after that.
Wait, what's the name of the book?
The book was If I
Was.
Killed Her, This Is the Way I Would Have Done It, or something to that.
Yo, that's
wild.
crazy.
I still can't get over it.
That's crazy.
Right. How many of you think that if, you know, knowing that he was dying and knowing he had stage 4 cancer, how many of you people think that maybe he recorded a statement or wrote something that's going to later come out, and like his kids are going to be like, hey, so I got this statement from my dad,
I
and
wouldn't be surprised.
you guys might want to see this, how they're going to get some
Everybody
money
gonna say,
off
we
that.
knew it. We knew it.
I'm waiting for that to come out.
You ever see that movie Concussion with Will Smith?
Yeah.
Concussion. I think so.
Maybe, possibly, you know, he really has some issues from all of the trauma to the head and all of that type of stuff. But I really feel like that man was really like
he got hit a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you do something like that, you put that out, like, yeah,
Looney Tune, like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not only that, he was also friends with a lot of shady individuals. Like
Yeah, he got in trouble. Like even after he got out of jail, he still was getting in trouble.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, come on, my guy. Even if people wanted to believe you, not even no more.
right.
You know,
Like,
he was very they said that there was a lot of people, like for example with Jenner, the guy, you know, after him being friends with OJ for so long, quote unquote, then you gonna diss him like that, you know, he had a lot of friends, even in that last court case that he went through when he was supposedly getting his memorabilia back from whoever that quote unquote stole it from him. He went about it the wrong way. But anyway, at the end of the day, the friends that he had around him were shady as well. So it didn't help him, the fact that he had so many shady characters around.
It's true.
It's reminiscent of Aaron Hernandez.
Absolutely.
I don't know if y'all know that story, but
I heard it. I think I heard it.
yeah, I have.
It's a very tragic story. But
Yeah,
it's
that
crazy
was.
how we're sitting here like, you know, so tragic that Aaron Hernandez, I guess because he killed himself, you know, and it's like so tragic. I mean, like he was smart in what he did, because then his child wind up benefiting because of him killing himself. I think they were saying something like if he were to have died at some point, that the baby would get something, like somehow they would benefit, and that was probably the angle which he was going through
That's
to do
sad.
that. I don't know if that's true, but I think
I believe that was like in his letter out, something to do with that. But yeah, I mean, like, the concussion thing is really, really, really real.
Why do you have so many shady people? Like, that's another thing. Like, with human beings, you have to have a circle that is positive. I mean, that's why it's important to have a circle that's in positive, because whenever you have negative thoughts, that positive circle could bring you back in, like reel you back in. Like OJ Simpson and certain people like Aaron Hernandez and people like that had circles that was completely negative.
Right, but when you're mentally in a state of mind where universal law, where there is negativity, there is no room for positive. You can't have them two in the same space. That's a universal law. It cannot be negativity and positivity in the same space. So it's either one or the other. So if you're being so influenced, or your life is so much surrounded in that negativity, it's it's hard to come out of that space.
Absolutely.
You might not even know. You might not even know no better.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you around. Yep.
This is just your world.
You have to remember, out of 3 people in a group, somebody was raised crazy, somebody didn't have enough, somebody didn't do. They're going to be envious. It's going to be some form of jealousy. Why is she getting more than me? Why? It's always going to be some underlying issue. Now, the thing is that everybody is not always going to be on the same page as you. You're not always going to find genuine people like you. And that's a sad part about life. You're going to get burned. You know what I mean? Now, when you get burned, they stay burned and just be like, I'm not helping nobody else, or I'm not. No, you have to still remain who you are. You know what I mean? And that's the sad part about it, because people take advantage of you just by being a nice person,
All the
It's
time.
sad.
And see, that's the thing about that I respect about J. Cole. I mean, J. Cole as well. The reason why he said that, he was uncomfortable.
Yeah, it don't
And
feel
he said because he was uncomfortable, he made this move to,
That was his spirit telling him that.
Exactly.
Amen.
It's like, he's probably really in tune, because there's some people that are not spiritually in tune and will allow all that negative stuff but when you're in tune and you really want to see good and things like that, it would definitely take. Cause my spirit talks to me all the time. I tell you, like, it's really crazy. I know things before it even happens sometimes.
But you know what? You don't know what you don't know.
Right. Do good, good would follow.
Where do those people stand? You don't know what you don't know. And this is why, like, platforms are so important. Like, what are we putting out there? What are we, I'm not saying we, but just generally, like J. Cole, for example. You don't know what you don't know. So if this man is putting it out there consciously, like, nah, we're not doing that. This is what we're doing. And he knows he has an audience. He knows he has an influence. And
absolutely,
it's just a couple seeds that's gonna be planted, and that's awesome.
We're not talking about no freeloading baby mamas either, so don't even jump in my comments about that. I'm always and have always took care of mine. You gonna leave me and you want to take my life with you? That's not happening. I'm gonna fight you to the end of the earth. But as far as what mine need, they gonna have more than enough. It's not my job to take care of you and your life and go lavish your lifestyle, and you decided to leave me. You gonna sit across from your new boyfriend, your new fiance, your new husband, and be pimping off my money while this nigga laying up in something that I'm paying for and driving around in, and dinners and vacations that I'm paying for? I'm not doing it. But pertaining to my child or my children, they gonna always have more than what they need. I'm talking about those of you who are running around here broken.
He's definitely talking from his own experience, and he's a whole beat forest. Listen, like, the thing I understand about these celebrities that boohoo and cry, I know it's a lot of money, but they're making a lot of money. It's not really dead in their pockets. They just don't want to, and you could tell even from his commentary, it's a whole, oh, you want to leave me? You want to leave me? It's like, you sound mad bitter, my guy. You sound very bitter. Like that man, she left. And yes, you don't want this man benefiting off of your dough, your clout or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, you're not even thinking about it. Like, your kid is used to a certain lifestyle, and now you're like, you just want to snatch that away from your child just because. Like, you mad at homegirl because she don't want to be with you anymore. You know what's so funny is that men oftentimes, and I see it on social media all the time, they say, women always complain about their baby daddies, blah, blah, blah. Pick better men. How about you pick a better woman? You so mad, pick a better woman. Don't be mad at her, be mad at yourself.
And I don't know why child support is like a break dealer for guys. Like, oh my God, like that's the end of the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like,
I know personally, like, men will like stop working just because, they're on child support, and oh my goodness, they're taking all of this money from me, and it's like, what's the point? Like, why am I even working? Because I can't even survive my damn self because they're taking all of this money from me. I was supporting my child. I was support my child, but this is like, over and beyond, and they get their licenses taken away and their passports taken away, and all of it. It's a lot of things that happen with child support.
But you know what? At the end of the day, let's be real, that there's a lot of people in general, men and women, that just don't like to pay bills. I mean, that's just a real thing. Regardless of what they paying half of, at the end of the day, they don't want to pay at all. Everybody, likes to rack up. Huh?
I thought you were retrieving my mail or something like last. That's definitely me.
It's actually a human nature thing. Like, it's human. That people of a certain financial setting want to live and appreciate things that they may not be able to afford. And based on that, that's where the problem comes in. Like, even before the kid, right? Like, if we think about it, even before the kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants to pay. Everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses. And that's just the world we live in.
Wow, yeah.
I'm fake bougie.
I don't think us as a society like are taught financial freedom early enough in life.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah,
definitely not.
And it comes down to, see, you're competing with your friend, or you're competing with your cousin, or you're competing with whomever. But if you taught financial freedom at a young age, it's like two things I always say. If you really, I mean, I wouldn't say people are studying my social media. One thing I cry about all the time is your civic duty taught enough, and financial freedom is not taught enough in school. Because I know we had like maybe 2 classes on how to write checks. I was in and that was it. And that,
like,
and
even
all I
to
did
write
was
a
write
check,
checks.
like
Guess
they're not
what?
even being taught anymore about script or how to even put a
which is
signature
crazy.
on a check.
Let's talk about how I'm on Chinese TikTok, and kindergartens are cooking and doing all of this great stuff and learning life skills while we sitting here learning how to dance.
Looking dumb, exactly. Looking stupid, and they can outcook us.
What's going
Kindergarten
on?
using knives and cooking and scissors and cooking.
Right.
Kindergartners.
America come skirt.
Well, everybody, that's something to think about, For everybody out there, it was a good show, everybody. For everybody out there, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hey, Gurus, this is the Lady Guru Show, and we are out of here.
Where my girls at?
Thanks, Jay Perez.
Where my girls at?
Thank you, Jay. I just want to tell you, I think your heart posture is incredible. You're gonna continue to live a blessed life.
I was gonna say that. Stay blessed.
That's
yes.
what's up.
100%.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what's up.